Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mendel Center Connections. I'm Mike Nadolski from the Mendel Center, and so happy to have with me today Danny Jennings. He's a teacher in Benton Harbor and also a coach and also an author of a book called Noya, Nobody Owes You Anything. So welcome, Danny.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why, we've known each other for quite a while now, but one of the reasons I wanted to invite you to participate in this Mendel Center Connections is you're going to be one of the panelists coming up in the Social Justice Advocacy Moving from Words to Results virtual presentation on Thursday, February 25th. And that's a free event. It's part of the Economic Club of Southwestern Michigan Speaker Series. And this year we've been focusing in on really the local community. Part of that is because COVID has kind of shut us down with our in-person events. But also we've been on a journey to really get to understand our community a little bit more. So appreciate your spending some time with us today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually excited. This is a topic that we all need to pay more attention to and have more conversations about and try to find results and opportunities to contribute to things becoming a lot better. So I'm glad to be a part of that.
Yeah, and a lot of times the discussions are good, and even the discussions are hard to have. Sometimes people are uncomfortable for different reasons, and the topics stir up a lot of emotion, and there's a lot of trust that has to happen for people to have meaningful dialogue. And I mean, we'll be talking about all of this on the 25th, but part of it is also that gap between, having the conversation, but then putting your words into actions. And I know that's one thing that you're particularly good at. I mean, you're out there every day trying to make a difference. Can you tell us a little bit about your background? And I mentioned kind of what you're up to now with the teaching in the Benton Harbor schools and the coaching, but share with us a little bit about your background, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, not at all. I'm born and raised here in Benton Harbor, actually. Born into the same circumstances that I serve into as well. Just a poverty-stricken environment, drug-infested neighborhood, and so many other deficiencies that contribute to the struggles of the young people that come up in a similar environment. So I saw all the things and participated in some, and basically kind of got a firsthand experience of how it is to grow up in this type of circumstance. So, what happened to me, though, fortunately, is I fell in love with sports. So that was kind of my catalyst for wanting a better life. And just ultimately it turned into, all right, I like sports. I'm about to graduate from high school. What do I do next? Oh, to be able to play sports further, I need to go to college, huh? So it became, all right, now how do I do that? And how do I go about that? And, long story short, fortunately, I landed on some campuses and I was able to have dialogue and build great relationships and have mentors and stuff who really, really showed me the path to being able to understand that I have potential and there are bright things on the horizon and I need to strive for things. And ultimately, that's what landed me in this circumstance. And now I feel like as an educator and as an author and as a coach, it places me in so many different environments where I'm able to be a positive influence, and I'm able to influence from a place where many aren't able to influence from, and that is personal experience. So I feel like that's been my primary strength, being able to look people in the face and they know that Danny Jennings has walked some of these walks, the same walks that he talks, he's been a part of. So that I think that, yeah.
What are some of the sports that you're coaching? I know you're big into baseball for sure.
This is my 12th year as the varsity baseball coach at Benton Harbor High School, but I've also coached football. I just coached football this past year, and I've coached probably about 6 or 7 years of football, but I've also coached probably 4 or 5 years of basketball as well. So those 3 sports primarily. And aside from that, that's a little cross country, just things where the athletic department may need for, somebody to step in. And I've always been a volunteer to do so.
Sure. And how about your teaching experience? What are you doing in the teaching arena at the moment?
Currently, I am teaching JMG, which is Jobs for Michigan's Graduates. Connexus is actually my employer. However, I'm housed in Benton Harbor High School. So we teach employability soft skills, the resume writing and interviewing and portfolio building, how to conduct yourself as an employee or the owner and things of that nature, just trying to build young people up to be able to function in the workforce.
And having known you and know some of the events that you've done, I know you're into the spoken word arena as well. How did all that come to be?
I've always been a writer, as you mentioned earlier about being an author. Excuse me. I've always been a writer. So just so happened I ran across Nikki, you've met Nikki, the president of our spoken word called Poetry, and ran across her and went to a couple spoken word events, and I just decided, hey, let me try this since I have so much on paper, and I've just never expressed it in front of an audience. I'm going to try this, and this is probably 10 years ago, and it felt good. I enjoyed it. And then people gave me great feedback, and it became now something that I really enjoy and I look forward to doing. I can't wait until there's no more COVID so we can have
all
some
of us. Well, I'm right there with you on that one.
Yeah.
I know we're not going to get too deep into any of the stories, but I know you have some amazing experiences firsthand with some of the youth in Benton Harbor in particular, and some success stories, and also some not pretty tragic, some very tragic losses. And it's, this is one of the things we're going to talk about on Thursday, February 25th, is how, critical the work is that you're doing and trying to reach, particularly the youth, but really all of us, just to focus in on what our priorities are as a community, and to do the advocacy work to make sure the deck isn't stacked against anybody and that people have fair choices. And just if you wanted to just share without, getting too far into it, but as much as you want to, how all this work kind of resides within you.
Well, just kind of once again going back into understanding that I've come up in a similar environment and understand how things function within this realm. I think that the work that I do primarily is there's a compassion, there's a passion, there's a responsibility, so a lot of that is a part of why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I feel obligated. But when you're seeing young people make these bad decisions, or you're coaching and you're teaching and you're having these young people in your life, and they may pass away from violence, or they may get locked up from bad choices. Now they're doing long bids and they're away from family, and everyone's suffering because of each of these things, the tragic losses as well as the arrests and stuff like that. You just know that your culture at large suffers because of it, and you want to do something about it. You feel like, okay, that didn't work, so maybe I need to try something else, and that didn't work. There's never a I give up. There's never a I'm ready to move. It's always a what next then, because we have to do something. And I'm glad that this is one of the things that has been put together to be kind of one of those what next type of situations.
Yeah, and I'm again so happy to have you here today to hopefully get people engaged in joining this conversation. If not able to join us, we will be recording the session on the 25th too, but it'd be really nice to have a great turnout and have folks engage in the conversation. Though the entire presentation is question and answers with three panelists. Danny Jennings is one of our three panelists. We have Charmaine Sanders, who's the director of the Start to Finish program at Lake Michigan College. She's also the advocate and leader. She is the representative for the Advocates and Leaders for Police and Community Trust for the Race Relations Council. She was from 2018 to 2020. She's still on the Race Relations Council and a great community advocate. And then Mary Jo Schnell, the Executive Director of the Out Center of Southwest Michigan. And you can register for your online pass at the mendelcenter.com. But I wanted to give you a chance too, Danny, to talk about your book. I know it's available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Noya, and I know you have T-shirts that say Noya as well. I've seen.
Yeah, I wish I would have worn one today.
Worn that. What kind of promoter are you?
I know. Yeah, man, I dropped the ball on this one. So actually, if you don't mind, I do have 2 books.
Oh, I didn't know about the second one. All right,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
I have 2 books. The first one, as you stated, was is Noya, Nobody Owes You Anything, and that's basically, it's kind of it's autobiographical more than anything. It kind of tells the entire matriculation from the inner city kid to the current inner city professional. So it talks about that. It talks about the struggles that one can have if they're kind of in a similar situation, and the triumphs that come from understanding where you could go wrong, understanding where choices can be made. You don't have to succumb to peer pressure, and you can always look at what your ultimate goals are and what you dream to be, and you can start along a path that's going to help you conquer those opportunities that you seek. And the Nobody Owes You Anything, that all came from, there was a stretch where I like to point fingers at people and say, this person didn't give me this opportunity, or this person didn't open this door for me. This person didn't want to hire me. This person didn't pick me for this team. And I don't know why they feel this way about me. It was always a they though. And I had to arrive to a point where I understood, you know what, there are things I can do that can help better position me for opportunities when they come forth. So what am I doing about this? And what moves am I making? What choices am I making? How am I structuring this stuff instead of trying to figure out why they and they and they? So that's where the title came from. But again, it's all pretty much autobiographical.
Yeah, that's pretty, that's definitely an important message to get out there. You know what? I'm going to make you save talking about your second book for Thursday, February 25th. That'll be one of our hooks to get them to come back and see more of you, and also join us in our conversation with Charmaine Sanders and Mary Jo Schnell as well. So thanks so much for taking the time and joining us today. And Danny Jennings, appreciate you, appreciate what you do, and look forward to continuing our conversation on the 25th.
All right. So I'm sorry.
Let's get people out there to register for their free online pass. You can pay whatever you want to help defray the cost of the event. Just go to the mendelcenter.com and look for the social justice advocacy, moving from words to results. What we're you gonna wrap it up?
Oh, no, I mean, I was just going to say, I appreciate you having me. I'm looking forward to the event. I'm excited about it. And, thanks for putting this together.
You bet. Look forward to it. Thanks, Danny.
Thank you.